This character means so much to me. It's a character that radiates, for me, identity and strength, charisma, and class. And I really want to do my best to serve this character and honor this character.
For this album, you made a short film that starred this man. Are there any cons to working with your partner?
Any cons? I think the only con is that I couldn't just take him.
Stop everything, because when a high-profile relationship ends in Hollywood, it's never just a breakup. It becomes a spectacle. A narrative. A battlefield fought in comment sections and group chats when news began circulating that Teyana Taylor and Aaron Pierre were no longer aligned. It didn't arrive with a press conference. There was no dramatic joint statement. No carefully worded "we remain friends" post-op. There was silence. And in Hollywood, silence is rarely just silence. 1 minute, the optics were flawless. Red carpet appearances. Coordinated fashion moments. Smiles that looked effortless. The kind of chemistry fans screenshot and repost with captions like, "This is real love." The next? Nothing. No tags. No couple photos. No public acknowledgement. In that void, that sudden absence became the loudest thing in the room within hours. Social media did what it does best. It filled in the blanks. Speculation started subtly at first. Are they still together? Turned into something definitely happened. Then the deep dives began. Old interviews resurfaced. Micro-expressions were analyzed frame by frame. Body language experts on TikTok suddenly had opinions. Reddit threads expanded by the minute. The internet wasn't just observing. It was investigating. Clips were slowed down. Past statements were reinterpreted. Every moment from previous appearances was re-examined under a new lens. What once looked like chemistry was now labeled tension. What once felt romantic was reframed as forced. That's how quickly narratives mutate online. Rumors began circulating, unverified, unsourced, but spreading at lightning speed. Allegations about hidden dynamics. Whispers about private disagreements. Claims from unnamed insiders who supposedly knew what really happened behind closed doors. And here's the reality of modern celebrity culture. Once a rumor catches momentum, it doesn't need proof. It just needs engagement. Twitter threads turned into battlegrounds. TikTok compilations gained hundreds of thousands of views. Fan pages picked sides. Comment sections divided into camps. Team Teyana, Team Aaron, Team they were never right. For each other, Team this is deeper than we think. And as speculation intensified, so did the pressure, because in today's entertainment industry, perception can move faster than truth. For Aaron Pierre, a rising actor with major projects and global visibility, silence became strategy. No statements. No reactive posts. No defensive interviews. Just absence. Hollywood insiders often advise one thing in moments like this. Don't feed the fire. Every word can be twisted. Every denial can spark a new headline. Sometimes the safest move is restraint, but restraint comes at a cost. Because when you don't speak, the internet speaks for you. Fans began dissecting his career choices. Past roles resurfaced. Interviews were clipped and reposted with new interpretations. Even harmless anecdotes from years ago were reframed to fit evolving narratives. Curiosity turned into scrutiny. Scrutiny turned into suspicion. Suspicion turned into full-blown digital storytelling. Meanwhile, Teyana Taylor moved differently. She didn't publicly address rumors. She didn't clap back at speculation. Instead, she focused on her work, music, fashion, acting, her children. But social media doesn't pause just because someone chooses dignity. Every old Instagram live was reposted. Every past relationship was dragged into current speculation. Commentary channels built theories. Anonymous accounts claimed inside knowledge. Alleged DMs unverified began circulating. The internet doesn't require authentication. It requires momentum. And this story had plenty of it. Then came the secondary wave, the psychological analysis phase. People weren't just asking what happened. They were asking why. Was it power imbalance? Was it career pressure? Was it control? Was it incompatibility hidden behind curated perfection? The breakup became a projection board. Everyone applied their own experiences to it. Personal trauma, past relationships, Betrayal narratives, that's the thing about celebrity. Splits, they stop being about the couple dot, they become about us dot, and while fans debated motives, there was another silent presence looming in the background, Iman Shumpert, though not publicly. Involved in the situation, his history with Teyana meant his name resurfaced in comment sections almost immediately. Old headlines were recirculated. Past narratives reactivated. The internet loves interconnected drama. Even if someone says nothing, their name can trend dot, and as days passed, the noise didn't fade dot and intensified. Alleged insiders continued fueling speculation. Blogs amplified. Anonymous tips. Reaction channels framed each rumor as a developing chapter. Careers became part of the conversation. Because in Hollywood, reputation is currency. Casting directors pay attention to public image. Studios monitor social sentiment. Brand partnerships evaluate risk. When your name is trending, it's not always a win, and here's the twist. Sometimes the story that dominates social media isn't the real story. It's the most clickable one. Silence. In this case, functioned as both shield and magnifier. By not engaging, neither party confirmed or denied anything. But that vacuum allowed the narrative to evolve unchecked. Fans began compiling evidence. Screenshots, timelines, event dates, travel overlaps. Song lyrics interpreted as confessionals. The lines between fact and fiction blurred rapidly, and in that blur, emotional intensity escalated. Comment sections turned hostile. Accusations flew in every direction. Some claimed manipulation. Others claimed victimhood. Some insisted this was strategic image control. Others believed it was heartbreak behind the scenes. The truth? The public doesn't actually know, but the internet rarely waits for certainty. By the end of the week, what started as a quiet separation had transformed into a full-scale digital spectacle. Reaction videos multiplied. Think pieces emerged. Even casual observers were pulled in by algorithmic force because platforms reward controversy. Every like pushed the story further. Every share extended its lifespan. Every hot take added oxygen. And that's the ecosystem we're living in now. Celebrity breakups aren't private endings, they're serialized events. What makes this situation particularly fascinating is how little verified information exists, yet how massive the reaction became. That contrast says more about us than it does about them. We live in an era where silence feels suspicious, where privacy feels strategic, where mystery feels like manipulation. But sometimes silence is simply protection. Sometimes not responding is self-preservation. And sometimes the loudest storm is entirely online. As for Teyana Taylor and Aaron Pierre, the real story may be far less explosive than the internet imagines. Relationships end for countless reasons: growth, timing, distance. Compatibility shifts. Not every breakup hides a scandal. Not every silence hides a secret, but the spectacle? That part is real. The way social media can take fragments and build empires of assumption, that's undeniable. And here's the bigger question. When the dust settles, who actually benefits from the chaos? Not the couple, not their families, not their careers. The only real winner is engagement. So before declaring the next bombshell, before treating rumor as revelation, it's worth remembering how quickly narratives are manufactured. Today's trending scandal is tomorrow's forgotten headline, and when the algorithm moves on, the people at the center are left rebuilding in private. This breakup, whatever the true circumstances, highlights something deeper about modern celebrity culture. We don't just watch. We participate. We analyze. We amplify. We accelerate. And sometimes we mistake volume for truth. The storm may feel massive. The speculation may feel endless. The narrative may feel definitive, but until either party chooses to speak, everything else remains exactly what it is: noise. And in Hollywood, noise travels fast. But truth moves differently.